Hey y'all, Kendall here. I am in Chengdu for spring break, and of course it's not just fun. Can't seem to go anywhere without doing some work, so it's a bit of a workcation. And I've taken a few weeks to kind of process the events surrounding the ISCA conference in Bangkok. What was that, March 15th through the 19th? And I wanted to make a post, probably a blog, about two things that I noticed that just kept coming up. And that I've been noticing, like throughout my career and things of that nature. I'll probably say this, well, career focus, personal, all the things. And they are synergy and alignment. So when you think about synergy and alignment, I wonder what comes to mind, especially in the context of relationships, personal and professional, meeting new people, openness to new experiences, whatever current situations you find yourself in. And those two words came up for me like hourly at the ISCA conference in Bangkok, and I'll tell you why. So I love conferences. I do really like to meet new people when my social anxiety is not completely disrupted. But I think this time was different because I hadn't been to one in a while, been a bit nervous, related to everything related to COVID. But ISCA had some, nice precautions. Most people, well, some people wore masks and things of that nature. So it felt a bit more comfortable. And it felt, here we go with synergy. Just the energy I felt being around other clinicians, school counselors, business owners, licensed psychotherapists, and all the ilk related to mental health, right? It felt so freaking good to be able to talk shop and have people to understand. And I just missed it so much. And the synergy of, again, having shared experiences, common understandings, just being there for a purpose. One, we get to travel. And two, more professional development, learning. And as international school counselors, that's really baked into the majority of reasons why a lot of us moved is the opportunity to travel. And here is where, so we were, most of us, aligned on our mission. And so here is where the synergy and alignment just was taken up, hell, more than like notches. And I don't even know, so the first person I met, black woman, of course it's black women, right, that I met that instantly connected with was Sherry Lee Galloway. Shirley, I'm sorry, I put your whole name out there. My apologies. I think we were in the restroom, and I couldn't get the sink to work. Technology don't be really responding to brown skin sometimes. And she fixed it for me, and then I switched to use her sink so I could actually wash my hands because hygiene is important. And we just started talking, like that kind of broke the barrier. And then we just, started talking. And, I think maybe we sat at the table at another session together. I'm not quite sure. But then I just started collecting people. I think she did too. And we just started collecting, bringing in, welcoming, connecting with other black women. Not everybody, right? But when I felt like an energetic connection, or if I saw someone kind of laying low in the cut, I went up to them and I introduced me. Hey, I'm Kendall. What's your name? And now I know how to work WhatsApp, right? Somebody showed me how to do the QR code thing. just connecting with people. Hey, how you doing, sis? We got a table over here. Do you want to come join us? Because I know when I walk in some of these places, how unwelcome I feel, how very much walking under a spotlight I feel, just that discomfort that arises when you walk in these places that aren't designed for you, right? Although one of the co-founders of ISCA is a Black woman, great woman, we know that domestically and internationally, the field does not comprise a great percentage of licensed Black women or Black people. And I didn't say this part at first. I wrote on my vision board, I wrote out some affirmations, I wrote up my intentions for this trip. And one of my intentions was, Kendall, you are gonna go in there like you own the place with that energy, right? Head held high. Like people used to get mad at me when I was little because I used to walk so proud. That's it's just in my DNA, right? Blame my parents. And you are going to show up. You are not going to cower into the corner. You are not going to hang out in your room. You are going to show up. You are going to participate. You are going to be heard. You are going to use that very distinct Texas voice that you have. You are going to speak. You are going to connect. You are going to be intentional about making appropriate connections, healthy connections, lasting connections, not transactional, because I'm not that person, from this conference. Because I know that I only have a few more years left in Beijing, but I know that I thoroughly love working abroad. I love mental health. I love working with adolescents. I actually love being a school counselor, and I actually want to. I'm a supervisor now, so I want to help train the next generation of school counselors, maybe international school counselors and just psychotherapists in general, to grow in their knowledge base, in their pedagogy skill set, right? In business, if that's something that they want to do. And so those were my intentions. That's the framework that I was working within when I went. And thank God that there were other women who were thinking the same thing, seeking the same thing. And we just connected. Baby, when we walked in a place, the eyes, who are they? Right? And if you know, we making the good points. And one of the things that I absolutely loved was that if there was a Black woman running a session, we showed up. And not just because she Black, large partly because she Black, right? Because again, we don't make up a large percentage, so we got to show up 5 people. But you know that for us to be there, it's gonna be quality. For us to be in the place, presenting, it has to be useful, impactful, well done, planned out, and actionable. And when I tell you, I want to make sure I don't forget anyone. The 2 women specifically whose presentations, whose sessions we joined, Chiname and Tara, baby, everything we needed them to be. Just the excellence on display, right? And so I was so proud in these moments. We have pictures of them in our collection of beautiful Black women clinicians and aspiring clinicians. You can find those on my Instagram. But the conversations that we kept having were, I'm so glad we found each other. It feels so good to be in the place with other women like ourselves, right? How do we do more of this? How do we present next? I mean, we got a thing going, right? To be announced in the future. I can't put it all right there right now. But just the pushing each other, the showing up for each other, the camaraderie, the cackling like we do, the going out into the city, me getting left by one of them dadgum scooter drivers and then being able to call them or reach out to them and they waiting for me. Just y'all, like the sisterhood was on point. And I miss them so much right now. Everybody's in different places in the world, living out our mission. And synergy only sparks with the certain people. Can't find synergy with everyone, but when you do, how do you manage it? how do you let it thrive? How do you let it grow? How do you keep it consistent? How do you let it have a life of its own? Like, how do we create an environment for it to be embedded and rooted and just thrive, bloom? And that's what I think that we're doing. Alignment, mission focused, goal oriented, similar experiences, future focused, learning how to love ourselves in the present, take care of ourselves, because we're all experiencing some very similar challenging situations in our respective, places of employment. Community building, alignment and community is literally what we have built across the world in all these different countries. And I just want to ask you, like, what does synergy look like for you? What do you need to feel that synergy professionally? Or do you have it currently? What does alignment look like? And do you have it where you are? If not, how do you get it? Is there something that you need to or could benefit from adding to your life? Is there something you could benefit from removing or just, maneuvering? I am so grateful for these women. Like, we are pushing each other. We are gracious. Just, it feels so good. Because historically, I've struggled in some professional settings with some women that look like me for a variety of reasons. But it's not like this, I think, because we're one of few where we are. And so when we meet, I think we all made the decision to reach out, connect. Maybe to different levels, but it's kind of like the domino effect. One is coming, here's another, let's go with it. And again, everybody don't have that energy. And I'm, speaking to all y'all, hey, how y'all doing? But it's just some sort of connection. It's just like the electricity. And I am just so happy. Like, I want more of this. There should be more of us abroad, y'all. The opportunities are there. There are schools that are really shifting, and some slower than others. And being more mindful of the fact that the world is global and culture is not going anywhere. The importance of multiculturalism, the importance of cultural humility, the importance of prioritizing safety and creating a sense of belonging for everyone. And I tend to lean more from the race, culture, ethnicity, and then gender spectrum. All of them are important. Gender, identity, all of them matter. I just know that in our international schools, some of them take more precedent and some of them are put to the back burner because they're more difficult to engage in meaningful discussion, i.e. why you have people like us that can lead that work. We just need someone to recognize the importance and give us the opportunity, because we are going to bring the fire. So be ready. Yeah, so synergy, alignment. I am grateful for these women. I might not see them for a while, but I know that we're going to talk every day. Thank God for WhatsApp and VPN. It just feels so, I can't describe it accurately. It felt peaceful. It felt, it just, good is not enough. Like, I'm searching for that word. It felt aligned. And it's so funny. Somebody that I traveled with that lives in the city that I live in currently, he shared with me that him and one of my colleagues said, he was like, we saw you and your lady friends And we were just like, she looks so different. She looks so happy. Looks like she found her people. And I mean, I knew it was complimentary. And then he followed it up with, and we were so happy for you. Oh, okay. But then in my head, I was like, just leave it at that. Don't make it into a discussion. Because in my head, I was like, I'm wondering, did he think about what makes it easier for me now to let the walls down, let the joy out, be easy, share the truth, connect. What made that easier for me now and not as prominent in my actual workplace? I really wanted him to interrogate that, but we ain't trying to have these deep discussions after long days of meetings. And so, plus I didn't think that would be a fruitful conversation. I was just grateful that he shared what he shared. He noticed. It just felt so good just to be. That's what it is. Just be. Not be overly hyper focused on how will these people perceive me. Perceive at your own peril. Yeah. Because it was so much fun. Riding the train together, hopping on the back of the scooters, going to dinner, standing out and not really being concerned about the fact that we stood out, because we did. I'm grateful. I'm praying for more experiences like that for not only us, but for other clinicians, Black, Indigenous people of color clinicians to come abroad, grow in their acumen, professional acumen, pedagogy, skill set, knowledge, self-awareness, self-love, independence. Give the world the gifts that you have that feel stifled, maybe, wherever you are, and just continue to grow and strengthen and become more rooted in your sense of purpose. Like, there are so many jobs abroad that would be a conduit to that success. And I'm hoping that we can provide something for the world that helps more people to move into these spaces abroad internationally, that helps them grow both personally and professionally. So like the tagline in my podcast, the Black Expat Experience, states, so the world can see that we belong everywhere and we thrive abundantly abroad. We do. I'm gonna end this now. Synergy, alignment, community, connection, fun, ease. It was healing. Oh, that's another one. It was healing. I feel like I'm about to cry. It was healing. We didn't have to fight. We didn't have to argue. We didn't have to feel like we were being stifled. We didn't have to water down. What? ... Healing. Ooh. Synergy, alignment, community, healing. I wish y'all well. I really did not mean for this to be a rant. I'm gonna write a blog about it too, but to my lady friends all over the world, in Doha, in Nanjing, in Thailand, in Abu Dhabi. I feel like I'm gonna forget somebody. Middle East. Wait, where? I'm trying to think. Nigeria. I am definitely forgetting some places, and I apologize. But we everywhere. We out here. Moisturized, educated, cute, and thriving. Just professional in all of our professionalness. And I love it. So be on the lookout. BGCC. And I'll be out.